Good afternoon, Robert Scribbler here with another edition of the OBX Wave Report. This one I am going to do my third review of the Lost Rocket Redux, and the reason why I'm doing multiple reviews of the Lost Rocket Redux is I want to explore the ins and outs fully of this board with you as I develop or redevelop my skill as a surfer with a new board, one of the newer boards and one of the most high performance boards that is available right now, which is the Lost Rocket Redux. And I did get a good session out yesterday with the fins in the quad configuration on the Lost Rocket Redux, and I've got to say that it really kicked up my paddle power. I felt like I was shooting through the water just really fast. I did optimize my positioning on the board. I feel like I found the sweet spot a little bit more. Not that I was not getting in necessarily, like I wasn't getting in a bad position on the board, but you want to have your head with this one. This is Lost Rocket Redux wide. You want to have your head like over top of, like, at least for me, like over top of the arrow here. Maybe just a little bit back, like the tip of your head. Typically with a sweet spot, you want the nose to be about an inch above the water. It wasn't just the nose positioning, it was also where you want the weight to be on the board. This is a larger board. This is a 6'1". A lot of these types of boards are made for like a short board kind of type of surf, and this one is more probably more of an experience, mid-length experience with a 6'1", even though 6'1" is definitely in your short board range, but we're getting 39 liters, so there's a lot of float to this board in the wide variety at this length. And man, with your head up there a little bit more, and with those quad fins in the back, this thing flies. It's just moving through the water. It is a duck diving machine. I mean, I got hit on the head by multiple 3 to 4 foot waves. Just pop the thing under the water. It holds really solid. There was only one wave that twisted me ever so slightly a bit, like out of line, but it wasn't a big deal. Part of it probably had to do with the fact that the waves were glassy and also coming in pretty directly to the shore as well. But I just feel so solid under the water when I do a duck dive with this board. It's really easy to do a double duck dive as well, just due to the solid nature of the board. Get that second pivot with the board to scoop up a little bit more water, get you about a half foot deeper into the water, maybe a foot deeper with a double duck dive. Despite that flotation, that 39 liter flotation, I have no problems duck diving this board. I'm about 5'10", 5'11", 175 pounds with a 39 liter board. Catching the waves, so paddling into the waves a lot easier with the quad fin. Thruster just really the quad really moves. And I caught some shoulders that were a little bit not necessarily in the sweet spot, so easy to catch the shoulders with this board. Caught a couple of sweet spot rides, one of which I had a pretty good spill on. The other one I managed to pull it off and turn in, make a nice bottom turn there. And it's easy to angle the board now with the quad, so I can preset my position on the wave rather than having to catch it straight and then do the bottom turn. And it's been a lot easier both in the front side and the back side on the wave. So if you are trying out the Lost Rocket Redux, I recommend you start out in the quad configuration, particularly if you have large fins. I've got large fins. I think what I'm going to do now is keep the quad configuration for a while, because this is a wave catching machine. This is just awesome. I feel so confident when it comes to paddling into the wave, the stability of the board, and then it turns really well. I think the concave helps it turn really well, and I don't feel like I have like a serious issue with turning with the quad The quad does provide that instability in the rear and enough instability to turn. I do feel a little bit less drag in the rear, a little bit less pivot on that rear foot, but no big deal. It's easy to turn the rails on this board with the quad as well. So no issues there. I think what I will do eventually, once I get used to the quad, is pick up some medium-sized fins and put them in the thruster configuration and see how it paddles and turns in that. So very good review for the Lost Rocket Redux at 6'1". In the wide version of the board with a quad configuration here on the Outer Banks with some nice glassy 2 to 4 foot surf. And I really feel like I can improve rapidly with this kind of board and this fin setup. And that's really what I want to do. I want to have a wave catching board. That's my main focus right now. And this does it. This is my review number 3 for the Lost Rocket Redux. I highly recommend doing the quad if you want to catch waves. And I'm going to provide another review for you as well as I get more into it. Probably a follow-on review for the quad before I switch it up again, maybe into the thruster configuration again with some medium-sized fins and see how that does it. I will say that the FCS fins are pretty cool. I mean, I've surfed a lot of boards with glassed-in fins, and being able to switch out your fins really just changes the nature of your board. It's like having a whole different board. It's really something else to be able to just switch your fins and have an entirely different surfing experience. So hats off to the FCS folks. It is hard to remove the fins and switch them if you don't have one of these bad boys, these fin pullers, because fins are pretty tight in the box. But getting this nice fin puller will help you with the versatility of your board as well. So general review again of the Lost Rocket Redux in a 6'1". This Lost Rocket Redux sold by Real Warrior Sports down in Riddiant. Fantastic board. Had a great time with it yesterday, particularly in the quad configuration. Great board in the quad configuration and really fast board in the paddle speed and down the line as well. So thanks for joining me, and I'll be providing another follow-up review on this bad boy here as we learn more together. This Lost Rocket Redux and myself on the waves here in the Outer Banks. So thanks again, and I'll be back with you shortly.